So I was going through my old sketchbooks and I found this character in one of them. And now this character has developed into a completely different character. But at the time, he was a little like red panda boy, except the red panda part was pink. And I think he didn't have a name for a while. And then I like temporarily named him something like Nya or something that you would expect from, I don't know, I must have been in like late middle school, early high school. And so that was a while ago, so we're going to try to revamp this drawing. I'm going to try to keep it the same, well, a similar sort of chibi style to keep within the theme, and I'll use the same character. I'll try to keep the clothes similar, but I might update it a little bit, and I'll try to keep some of the pose, like his hands are up here to kind of be more animalistic, like when animals are on their back hind legs and their arms are up and they don't really know what to do with them, something like that. So I'll try to keep that idea in mind. And other than that, I'll just try to touch this up and make it a little more updated to what I can draw now. Just ignore this one. I think that was another sketch of the character, so you could see that I had another anime style in mind, but this one was more of a chibi style that I'm going to try to incorporate in my redraw. So see you there.
So I wanted to push the pose a little bit because the pose was a little stiff in the original, which is fine. I was a baby. I was learning how to do art, and I can't say I tried my best, but I tried a little bit at least. It's very middle of the road for me, that drawing that I did there. I was looking through a lot of sketchbooks, but this new drawing, also kind of middle of the road for me now, so consistency. Well, while I was doing the inking, I realized pretty quickly that the paper that I chose to do this drawing on was not a good choice. It did not hold the marker very well. The marker, in fact, bled a little. It wasn't too bad. They're pretty good markers, but it wasn't that sharp if you look up closely, but I figured it was probably fine for the purposes of this video. I was a little worried about the marker, but it didn't end up being too big of a problem. The eyes kind of started to hurt the paper. I should have tested it beforehand. I didn't. I figured it was probably good to go, but not so much. I've learned a lesson. Not that I had that much paper options anyway. I should go get better paper, probably. I usually just, when I draw traditionally, I usually just use my sketchbook, so that's why I don't really have too many papers, but that's fine. It worked out okay. And now I'm just making the lines thicker, more artistic, I suppose. In the original, you could see I have very light and thin lines that didn't really differ in size that much, line weight. So I tried to emphasize that a little more in the newer version. There you could see that's where the eyes, there was a lot of layering of the marker, so it did tear up the paper a little, but you can't really tell. Well, I also wanted to use markers instead of colored pencil. Colored pencil works just for the simplicity of the art. I thought marker would go for what I was going for originally a little better, because it was supposed to be more cartoony and simple, not a lot of texture. The texture looks kind of silly, honestly, in the original. Like the hair, it's too much, because it's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be a simple drawing. So I went with markers so I could just block in the colors. And I have a lot of markers, so I was happy to use them. Now I'm just adding little highlights and details to make it pop a little more, because the original is very flat looking. So for the newer one, I wanted more vibrant colors and more of a contrast of colors. So very dark shadows and very bright light highlights. And then I just used a blue background to bring out the eyes and have all the colors connect a little better. Okay. Well, that was it. Peace out.